Stadium in Cardiff, as now the Kiwis head off to the western end of the ground to line up for the haka, and Papua New Guinea will be close enough to their own 40, as you can see. A cold day in Leeds, but no rain, and in fact they had the sprinklers on at the ground when I came here earlier this morning. This surface laid down, I think, at a cost of near enough to $1 million just over 12 months ago. I don't know if it's still the case now, but when there's big test matches next door, they've parked their cars here. Let's have the haka. Yeah, that gets us in the mood, doesn't it? New Zealand and Papua New Guinea ready to go.
And nothing beats the haka, does it? And of course Papua New Guinea used to have a war cry back in their day as well, but with over 800 villages up there, it's a little bit disrespectful just to pull out one, so that's why they don't do one these days.
It's a bit like the villages over here. We don't have one either.
Well, let's just lock in those sides for tonight. Hoffman, Tuivasa-Sheck has already got a try in each of the matches played. Vare, Goodwin, Vanuve, Foran, Johnson. Foran is captain tonight for only the second time. Martelino, Luke, Bromwich, Glenn, Sonny Bill and Taylor, Moa Cassiano, Nuasala and Luluai to play his first game of the tournament. And the Papua New Guinea side, the sprinkling of National Rugby League experience. Mead, Abavu, Yere, Panui, McDonald, Thompson and Ayer in the halves. Pandia, Chan, Nandiai, Bruno, Wabo, Costigan, all there in the forward pack tonight. Albert, Aton, Tali and Mexico. Really impressed by Tali on Monday night. He was one player who could hold his head high. So from Headingley Carnegie Stadium, a ground and a complex that oozes history, sporting history, not just rugby league, but cricket as well. It's also home to the Leeds Rugby. Ashley Klein, referee for this one. We've got Richard Silverwood up in the video referee's box tonight. The crowd has been warmed up by the ground announcer. I think they will also warm to PNG if they can start well. I still think the best 20 minutes I've seen at this World Cup belongs to New Zealand in their first game against Samoa. Let's see what happens tonight. David Mead gets us underway in the north of England tonight here in Leeds, and Bromwich is the first man to bring it back, and that's a good sign. 5 up in the tackle to start the night for Papua New Guinea. And now Sonny Bill Williams back in the side in the first offload. It's Taylor with it. Plenty of vigour, plenty of bustle, but not preventing the offload there, the PNG defence. Luke ended up with a ball 15 metres inside his own half. And the first penalty of the night to New Zealand, with me in commentary tonight, former Great Britain player and coach Brian Noble and former New Zealand international Daryl Halligan.
Well, pretty clear there, Bossy. I think New Guineans are going to stick plenty of numbers in the tackle, and I think New Zealand are anticipating that and played a little bit offload football straight away to negate that. And Isaac Luke was dragged to the floor. They're hanging on too long, and free field position for the Kiwis.
Yeah, and they will take the free kick from inside the 40. Dean Farre back into the side. He got man of the match on us in their first game up in Warrington. To centre field they come. And Martelino, who ran for over 200 metres against France, took that one. Johnson skips across field. Another touch for Sonny Bill Williams. And they lock up the ball, but it is 20 metres away from the PNG line. Luke, they look on song, don't they? They are dialed in, the Kiwis, in the first 90 seconds of play, just 10 metres away from the line. Here is Luke, onto the captain for it, inside the pass. Alex Glenn can score a try. We've seen that many times with the Brisbane Broncos in the NRL on that left edge. Now Foran to centre field. Williams is able to offload. It's his second of the night, and some punishing defence on Taylor. Papua New Guinea defending their own line. Mead was up there as well. Last tackle, hard pass to Foran. Off the outside of the boot. No one has competed for the footy. And Bryson Goodwin has just slid into score. I was looking for a Kummel to put his hand on it, to bend over, but it's almost as if they've got bad backs or something. No one wanted to get anywhere near the ball.
Okay, last tackle. Are they onside? All good. Through to the grounding. Just jog that back, please. Ooh. Not sure on that angle. Just take that back, please. Real slow. Take it back a bit further. Bit further. Okay, real slow. Hand on the ball. Yeah, the ball's on the ground. Try.
Voice of Richard Silverwood. He's letting us know that he's satisfied. There's enough pressure exerted there from Bryson Goodwin. And we'll have the first try of the night. Last Friday night it was Kristen Inu with the first try. Tonight's the left centre, Goodwin, with the first 4-pointer.
And again, it's a little kick. This time it's been in the air, and Avignon, where we saw the tries were scored. This time a beautiful little kick from Kieran Foran. Gets it off the outside of his boot and just feeds it through the line. And then when Bryson Goodwin gets down to go for it, he looks like he sort of knocks it on, but in full motion and full speed, it's a try for sure.
Bavu could have done a whole lot better there. Darryl, I just think he stood still, watched the ball, because to be fair, they defended their line pretty well for the 5 players. And
I agree.
And then the hand grenade pin was let out by a Bavu.
There's a couple of beautiful sets of 6 for New Zealand. They really got the inside ball coming back towards the middle of the field, and it was the back rowers on each side, Glenn and Sonny Bill Williams on the right, but the work of Elijah Taylor hanging around Sonny Bill Williams, he's just about handing him the ball like rugby union.
And over to Sean Johnson, looking to add to what is a healthy tally of points so far in this Rugby League World Cup. And the fact that Luluai only comes back tonight off the bench, I don't know whether Johnson gets any game off. You'd have to think he'll play the quarter-final and obviously semi and final if they make it. Johnson's first kick of the night is successful. 3 minutes gone. The defending champs up by 6.
Oh, the luxury when you've got some options, and when your halves can feed the ball through the line as well. Someone through Luai is going to get some time on the field tonight, hopefully. Where does he go? Does he go into hooker and give Isaac Luke a bit of a spell, or he can slot straight into the halves?
Yeah, the Bavu a bad rap there. It was McDonald that didn't get his boot to the ball.
Yeah, he's a big fella. He's like he stands up on stilts, Nene McDonald, and he hasn't finished growing either, but there he had to find some way to get down to it. He had to fall off the stilts. And the ball is with Jesse Bromwich. Good player. Has really improved under the coaching of Craig Bellamy down at Melbourne, coming through their system outside the 20-metre line. Williams is fired up, isn't he? That's his third offload already for the night. And Luke is there. Promotion of the football causing a bit of a problem for Papua New Guinea early. Johnson and Williams wants another run. This time they do get him to ground.
Looks like he's on a mission.
Absolutely, Luke, and working that right side. Dean Faray. I met lots of fans coming into the ground, but one lady said she held off buying her tickets for tonight until she knew Sonny Bill was playing. You know, such is the star attraction that he is. I mean, they're all neutral observers in the main tonight. Not too many Kiwis and Papua New Guinea fans. A high ball for Mead, and Mead, he almost lost it. It slipped down lower than the you-know-wheres, and he somehow gathered it in.
He made a meal of it, didn't he? It hung there and it hung there and it hung there. He got there.
So first touch of the ball for Papua New Guinea, 15 metres away from their own line. And the crowd enjoying what they've seen so far. Even though Papua New Guinea conceded an early try, it wasn't for the lack of trying. Jesse Joe Nandier there with the ball, the lone try scorer against Samoa on Monday night. And one of a sprinkling of players with experience of rugby league in this part of the world. Back for Thompson to kick, but gee, there's more height than length on that kick. It's coming down just inside the Kiwis' half. And you kick it straight to the beast. So he's going to run hard back at you.
A couple of short play options for Papua New Guinea on the left there. I just wonder with Wabo on the football field, he'll move to the back row shortly, and Paul Ayton will come on and play the rest of the match, I would imagine, and that'll get their ruck started for Papua New Guinea. So defensive play to start the game, attack coming.
And New Zealand with the ball centre field, and Tuivasa-Sheck has come in to get a touch. Doesn't want to stand out on the right wing and get cold. Scored a slashing try in his test debut up in Warrington. Now the ball is with Madalino. No Jared Waria-Hargreaves tonight for New Zealand. Out goes Luke, asking a question of the defence. And they find an answer. 2 metres away from the line. Wabo was there to make the tackle. Foran's got another kick in. Right across to the corner. A juggle. Tuivasa-Sheck. You just can't stop the kid. He's got some freakish talents. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Remember the name. 20 years of age. 3 tries in 3 tests.
I watched him warm up, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and he's got massive calf muscles. He's got, they're bigger than baby cows. Here he goes up, and he's just about rounded up, but he's got good drive and perseverance to just get a little bit of a hand, stretch out. They know where the line is.
That's great strength, isn't it? Because he's every right to go on a touch there from Ababa, but he just can't hang on to him. He just can't hang on to him. He's too strong.
Yeah, well, you saw Brian firsthand. This kid's try in the first match, the freakish dive and what wingers can do these days. But he has got this lethal step to go with it. He's got speed, and as Daryl just said, he's got calves as big as calves, and, well, there's the package.
Spare a thought for poor old Mal Meninga in the coaching box there. Papua New Guinea just with the 1 touch so far. Another thing I liked about their try as well, Kieran Foran's been playing predominantly on the right-hand side of the left-hand side of the field for New Zealand, Sean Johnson on the right, but it was Kieran Foran who put that kick in on the right-hand side. So varying it around.
Just on to Tuivasa-Sheck, he had the most runs of any player in the NRL Grand Final this year. You know, enthusiasm from a young kid playing in his first huge game of a career that's going to be long. And Johnson, yes, that's going to please his goal-kicking mentor, Daryl Halligan. 2 from 2, 12-0. New Zealand going well. 8 minutes in.
Well, it's a great touch on the kick as well. You have to say that they've been pinpoint. Both of Foran's kicks have been unbelievable. That's great strength. Never mind his calves like cows. He's got legs like bulls. I don't know what it is. He's big.
First 2 tries down in Avignon against France were off kicks. 1 to Inu and Goodwin that night. Tonight it's been 1 to Goodwin, 1 to Tuivasa-Sheck. And we go through this drill again of Bromwich to take the first one, and look out for Madalino or Sonny Bill on the second. New Zealand 29 metres away from their line, and they come to the right side, and Johnson does find Williams with the ball. Met and picked up by Ayer, but still able to offload. Johnson, Faray, little flick there. Tuivasa-Sheck is now hit by the Papua New Guinea defence. That's a nice how do you do.
What about Dion Ayer?
Yes.
No problem, Sonny Bill. I've got you on a half.
Williams has another touch of it. Yeah, watch this. He says, stick it in your pipe and smoke it. But Sonny Bill still able to offload. And now the ball with Madalino inside the 40. So there's a lot to like about this. They're singing in the stands at Headingley. Hoffman's got the ball. Lovely left foot step, left foot beats a coat hanger. Then taken down by Jason Chan. And there is a penalty on the last tackle as well.
They're just playing too quick, the Kiwis. Wabo's there trying to jump in and stop the play of the ball. They got away with the coat hanger. They got away with that one. Then Wabo jumps all over him to say, oh, well, they're playing the ball too quick. And there you see quite clearly Charlie Wabo gives a penalty away. And the torture increases for the New Guineans.
Absolutely. And a full set 20 metres out from the line as they come to centre field. And Bromwich is the man.
He's 10, guys. He's 10.
Taken down 15 metres out. Luke gets them left. Foreign playing in close. Hoffman, there's an overlap. Hoffman himself. Hoffman scrambling defence. He did bomb it. Manui there. He's the man in the yellow boots, the right centre. Made a big tackle there. Vaduve. And to centre field, Madalino doesn't get too many tries. When he does, it's time to buy a new calendar. As the ball comes up, foreign loose ball. It's all through the legs from Farre. Play on for Tuivasa-Sheck. There's the step. There's the step. And again, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He's a little beauty. And he's not that little. 16-0.
You're right, Nobby. They bombed it on the left. Hoffman shifts, they score, but they're good enough to come right anyway. What about the tunnel ball? When it goes to ground, Dean Farre, shift it between the legs. Then Tuivasa-Sheck, I thought he would have straightened and scored there, but he decided to show some extra footwork in between a couple of Papua New Guinean cover defenders. He gets a second.
Wow. That's just a little clip of his footwork. And what about the nose tackle? Farre straight through his legs. Boom. He'd play gridiron next week with that kind of pass.
And his left foot step's the better one, Brian, really? Too. The left foot step's a beauty. And you just saw a double pump of the right. Now he's got 4 tries in only his 3rd test. And big smile on the face as well. Actually, Samoan born is Roger. So you can imagine mixed emotions when he played the first match of the tournament. But he's come off a super year. Grand final winner with the Roosters. He's played just 31 first-grade matches. Now he's representing New Zealand.
He just looks so confident, doesn't he? Every time he gets the ball, whatever's in front of him, he thinks he's going to beat. And do you know what? He probably is.
Shaun Johnson with his easiest shot of the night.
And you would know, Daryl, that those at the Roosters, the Sydney Roosters club Tuivasa-Sheck comes from, I mean, fullback's going to be his best position. But he's not there because Minicello is the club captain and #1. Johnson's 3 from 3, 18-0.
I like the way you guys are talking about footwork, because I had a look at this back line for New Zealand. I think this is the way they'll line up for the rest of the tournament. I can't see anyone squeezing their way in there. Hoffman's got footwork at the back. Tuivasa-Sheck. Bryson Goodwin and Dean Farre not quite so possessed with it, and Manu's a battering ram. But then Shaun Johnson. There's plenty of footwork there.
Well, they need some possession, don't they? If they don't get some possession soon, they're going to have to go to eBay and try and find some, try and buy some. Because they're going to do it tough if they're chasing all night here. 18-0, 3 converted tries. It's a broken record. Back comes Bromwich from a kickoff. Kiwis inside their own 20. Madalino with the ball. Big weekend coming up at the World Cup. England, Fiji tomorrow. That is going to be an absolute cracker as Luke takes off downfield. And I'm looking forward to a trip across to Limerick to see Ireland play the Kangaroos. Another penalty conceded by a Papua New Guinea side which is basically on the rack early here. Jesse Joe penalised.
It's just that New Zealand are really complete at the moment. Their defence, they're trying to get numbers in there. Isaac Luke, his first real dangerous run up through the middle of the evening. And Papua New Guinea, well, there's a pace to this game that's really cracking. I mean, the hits are there.
Been fireworks around all week, and the Christmas lights went up in Leeds last night where we were staying. Beautiful city this time of year as Bromwich is tackled 25 away. We're a couple of train stops away from the centre of the city as Luke passes on to Johnson. Look at them skip around with confidence. Farre all with a spring in their step. The New Zealand Kiwis, they're making a night of it. Williams, foreign, quick hands, maybe forward there. Not called by referee Klein. And Papua New Guinea hang on, but only halfway through the count. Luke left. Oh, inside to Williams. Williams spins. And Sonny Bill has scored for New Zealand just like that. 22 points to 0. And SBW puts his name on the scorer's sheet.
Well, this is just too fast and frantic for the New Guineans, and he's 4 on the inside to Williams, and he's been carrying people for fun all night, so that needs a line. He's going to get over from there. Right left foot step, twist, spin, gets the ball down, has to decline in the right position to see, but it's Foran tempting him to come away from his right-hand side and come around the middle, and there you clearly see the finish. He gets the ball and grounds it quite comfortably.
Teams need to learn to play with Sonny Bill Williams, such as attacking prowess he has, and in that set of 6 I watched him go to first receiver and push Kieran Foran out to second receiver, who then sent it wide, and on the very next play he backs up there on the inside for a try.
Yeah, scores it on the left side of the field. All his earlier runs on this right edge, saying that, you know, Tuivasa-Sheck's the complete package. Johnson, he's the complete package. Williams, the complete package. Exceptional football being played here, and emotionally now as much as physically, Papua New Guinea really being tested. Soul searching in goal as they watch on. Don't suppose Big Mal can grab a jumper, Brian, and go for a run himself, could he?
Well, at least they'd have to run around him. He's that big. They've just got to find a way to, as you watch Johnson probably nail this kick as well, they've got to find a way, first of all, to get their hands on the... They're playing so quickly and without one error yet, I think. Ryan's saying that the kid, when they've got into traffic, so he's offloaded the ball 5 times. Here we see the finish from him inside. He's still got 3 people to beat. Hey.
Well, to be fair, they actually haven't had the football, Brian, have they, at all? And when they did have the football, they only went 2 plays down the left-hand side before they actually kicked.
Well, they're being slaughtered in the possession stakes. They've made a change. Lock forward Sebastian Pandia, he's gone off the field. He's one of the Port Moresby Vipers on show. Deep kick-off. It ends up perfectly placed, and it's Madalino's job to bring the ball back for New Zealand. Getting around the legs, the man who's gone on off the bench, Jason Tarley. I mentioned earlier that he's wearing number 16 tonight. He was the best of the Papua New Guinea runners on Monday night as Luke just sprints off for another 15 up to halfway. But the 16 for Papua New Guinea, watch out for him. He can make a difference. And through this set, 4 tackles in, 40 metres away from the Kumuls line. They are making so much ground. Luke away and on for Nuasala to take a charge. In fact, Cassiano, I can't get Cassiano wrong. There he is, the big fella out there. Kick for the corner again. And this time, Papua New Guinea. Ababu has come up with a catch and races back to the 20. And suddenly the Henley crowd go up. And they call him back, Brian.
Ashley, what are you doing? They haven't had the ball for 20 minutes, but give them a run. Give them a run.
Comments of former Great Britain coach.
Oh, don't give them the run.
Brian, no, yeah, well, look, Cassiano's out there, and I've said it before. If they ever make a horror film, he'll be the monster. He is a big fella, the Dogzilla, Sam Cassiano. Love this singing at Headingley tonight. As now Charlie Wabe tries to get them going, and Costigan copped the treatment from Cassiano and Sam Moa. You don't... Oh, no, now they've dropped it. The man I gave the rap to, Jason Tarley, drops his lunchbox, and New Zealand come up with the ball 35 metres away from the Papua New Guinea line. And now Cassiano's lost it. Yeah, they say knock back.
Such a scary thought, isn't it? You're down 18, 24 block, and then they bring Cassiano on. It's unfair.
Yeah. And Frank Paul still to come on. Nuasala. So they've got Moa and Cassiano out there. Foran on to Johnson. They lose hold of the shorts. 15 away from the line. More pressure. Blowtorch pressure on the belly of Papua New Guinea. Williams passes. Farai flick. Here goes the step again. And Tuivasa-Sheck is put onto his back. Got over the top. 5 from the line. The Kiwis. Williams. Cassiano. One-handed offload. Taylor's ball knocked down. Knocked back, they say. Williams away to Farai. Farai left foot step. Again a flick to Tuivasa-Sheck. They're keeping it alive. He juggles it. And has managed to retain possession. Last tackle. They've got to hang on for one more. The Kumuls. Foran. A bomb. An air raid across field. Flying high. McDonald. They've cleaned it up, Papua New Guinea. And they're going to say knock on against New Zealand. Changeover on the 10.
Great D from Papua New Guinea. I mean, New Zealand threw everything at them in that set of 6. With the offloads on it, it was 8 or 9 tackles as well. Whare, a couple of little dabs, and then in balls to Tuivasa-Sheck that got him covered now, and then a high ball over to the side. So take your hats off. Well done.
I think what's worrying for the New Guineans, if we're being honest, is that the Black Jumpins they're aiming up defensively as well, aren't they? Every time the New Guineans are cut, they're really determined to... Oh, the penalty, that'll help.
Oh, this crowd. Oh, they got behind the Kummels and suddenly they get a penalty and up they go and the chant goes up. I remember as a young fella watching the old Kangaroo tours over here, and one game sticks in my head, 86 Central Park, Australia versus Wigan. And the crowd, as I recall it, much like tonight. I mean, the terrace down here at the western end of the ground is absolutely full to the brim. Absolutely full to the brim. And they're in full voice, they're singing. The northern grandstand is packed.
Be a little bit different now. Paul Ayton on the field for Papua New Guinea.
And only recently has signed a 3-year deal with Leeds Rhinos, leaving Wakefield behind as now Thompson gets them across field, and there's a bit of promise. Another penalty to Papua New Guinea. Oh, we could have a good night if Ashley Klein comes up with a 30-5 penalty count. A bit like the old days in France.
Have a look at Cassiano here. This is the last play of it, but inside of that, Cassiano comes up and cleans up one of the block runners from Papua New Guinea.
Well, we said in the first half as they struggled against Samoa, they just need one try, something to get them going. Well, it's the same story here at 24-0. They trailed by 28 at half-time on Monday night, so it's been a tough week for them. A tough week indeed. So Ayton calling shots from dummy half, 25 metres out. Chan can do some damage. Super League experience in this Papua New Guinea forward pack, and there's another penalty. Maybe there will be a 30-5 count. Klein has gone bang, bang, bang. There's 3 for you.
Cassiano again. I think he's trying to rack Jason Chan to the floor here, and Mr. Klein says that's not allowed.
Well, this is nice. Papua New Guinea 10 metres away from the line. This is foreign territory for them. Thompson across. Ayer with a nice step. Not quite of Tuivasa-Sheck proportions. 10 from the line. Ayton will attack short side. Jesse Joe, formerly known as Parker. He's a bit like Prince, changed his name mid-career. 5 away. Ayton there for Costigan. First receiver, and Joe Bruno was knocked off his feet. And the tackle of Moa. Ayton, Kiwis were offside, short side. Out wide it comes. Yere dumps it off. And Bavu, but in fact they've called the pass forward. Well, I've got to say, the reason the pass was rushed, I thought, was because New Zealand had come off their line a little too quick. That's the way I saw it.
It's a great tackle in the middle of the post there. It was Alex Glenn. And then when they shift it wide, the line speed, as you called it here, Dean Whare up, perfect positioning for a centre. Pushed up into the middle, then afforded the luxury of drifting out to his right and covers 3 players.
I've been impressed with Whare, Darryl.
I think he's a player that's growing in this position, Brian. He was brought to Penrith to play some fullback and started last year at fullback, and then Ivan Cleary shifted him into the right centre position. He's done well ever since.
Just debut last year for Dean Whare. And there he is on cue in possession of the ball. 49 NRL games he's played in Australia. And now the ball with Varuve. Big run from the beast. And Bryson Goodwin follows up. Goes beyond the 40-metre line, New Zealand's end of the ground. This time it is Cassiano. He's able to offload Hoffman there in support. Gee, fullbacks can have a field day just supporting these players with offloading skills. Luke Johnson, Sonny Bill Williams, and they handle him well. I guess that counts as an offload. Hoffman scoops it up.
I just think it's in the game plan for the Kiwis tonight that he's not allowed to be tackled with the ball. I think it's written.
But he's just never ever late, is he? It's never too late for him to offload.
Foran's kick fielded by Mead, and Mead got away from one. He's beaten 2 and a third. He's then beaten a 4th, David Mead. No shortage of support for Papua New Guinea if they can get something happening here.
No shortage of speed either for Mead if he sees some space.
McDonald took the next one to get them back out towards the 30. And now for Jason Tarley from the Mount Hagen Eagles. He's offloaded. McDonald has got another touch. So can you believe this Nene McDonald? He's in the same squad as the Roosters. He's playing under 20s, that kid. Got another one down there called Tautau Moga, who it could be a sensation. Fair production line at the Sydney Roosters at the moment for outside backs.
I'm right in saying he's a couple of busted knees over the last couple of years, Tautau Moga.
Yeah, he was tipped before Tuivasa-Sheck came through. Now out to Menziere. And Big Menzie. Locks horns, gets away from Farre. Well done, Yere. Yeah, decides to go the kick through. That was interesting. Hoffman gets a bit of protection from Manu Vanuve. And Kiwis have the ball.
A bit of protection?
Yeah. Like a couple of bounces outside the boozer up the road.
Well, we saw the good side of the jukebox there as he finished the play and trying something different. The play before was Yere.
Oh, Big Manu's away. There's a runaway beast, baby. He's tackled 25 metres away from the Papua New Guinea line. Nice last minute for Manu. Scooped up there by Isaac Luke. No fullback at home. And again, Papua New Guinea find themselves under pressure, defending inside their 20. Johnson, Williams on that right side, has a go, goes through the turns. Oh, Sonny Bill! He hasn't done it again, has he? No, it's a try!
He thought he had himself.
I thought he'd learned his lesson. He has gone perilously close to the dead ball line. But Sonny Bill has scored the try. But seriously, the defence was like the turnstiles out the front of Headingley.
Do you know how many people were holding their breath there just to see the try be awarded? Manu starts it with a great bust up the middle, looking for some support. No cover coming. And then they shift it down to the right-hand side. A nice little swerve and in amongst a couple of tired Papua New Guinea defenders. And close. How close was that?
Watch his face afterwards. He knows himself. Watch this. Let's see if we see his face. Watch his face when he gets up. Watch this.
Oh, that's not a conventional put down there. That's rather inglorious from SBW. What if he had, what's his tour of North of England bomb tries?
Pretty sensational bomb tries. He's breaking the first one when he did bomb the try. Was outstanding, and he wasn't going to be stopped there, was he?
Well, Papua New Guinea and half-time approaches, and it is 13 minutes away. I think they're going to have to find a stack of bricks and some mortar and try and build a wall. They are having real troubles, aren't they, holding on here?
The thing with Sonny Bill there was, you know, the first time he bombed the try was because the foot slipped on the grass. Now, if the foot slips on the grass there, he's close enough to do the double.
And Johnson for 5 from 5. Clark unveiled outside the ground today to mark January 25, 1908, when the New Zealand All Golds played the first ever test match here. It was won by the home side. New Zealand All Golds played here in 1907 against Leeds. Dally Messenger was a member of that New Zealand All Golds side. What a rich history at this ground.
Well, wasn't the best tackling there, was it? Wasn't the best tackling. I mean, let's take nothing away from SBW. People have come to see him, but that wasn't the best tackling.
No. And just on these foundation grounds, if you like, in England. So there's Headingley, there's Wakefield, and there's Batley. They're the 3 original grounds from the Northern Union, 1895.
You're looking at me like I played.
Well, I thought you had. I'm not saying played. I thought you might have just been there on your dad's shoulders or something, you know. But Wakefield looking to move from their home, so that we'll be left with Headingley and Batley, who aren't in the Super League, of course. So back in possession, Alex Glenn with it. Impressive young player too, Alex Glenn, as captain the Brisbane Broncos in the NRL. Such as his quality. Moa plays it on the 40. Here goes Cassiano. I mean, he's a big human, Sam Cassiano. He's not from the same planet that I was born. He's from somewhere else. Luke now with the ball. And look at Luke go swerve and run and speed and link up Farre, quick hands. Sonny Bill's off again. Kiwis who are putting on some sort of clinic here. Frank Paul's got 3 tries now in the World Cup.
Big Sam Cassiano, they couldn't stop him, and off the back of that, Isaac Luke, he goes for a dart, and then he shifts himself out to the right again. Good work from Whare, and then they pick up the big fella, Sonny Bill Williams. I thought he was going to go all on his own, and is that the first touch for Frank Paul? Nu'uausala didn't even see him come on the field, and now he's got a try. Selfless from the big man.
Don't know about the pass, but that's not a great angle of it. In my research for the match, Brian, I did pop into one of the William Hill betting agencies today. Just
that next to the pub.
Yes, well, I had to sample local cuisine. We'll get to that later, but I did notice, I think the point start was 46 points. They could cover it in the first half. They've got 34 and about to be 36 in 30 minutes.
That's incredible. I had them down, to be honest, probably 60 when we were talking before the game. Here's a question for Darryl. In the build-up for the Kiwis, is this a good thing before they get to the serious stuff in the quarterfinals?
Well, you can only do what's in front of you. You only play what is offered by the opposition. I thought the starter, Sean Johnson, knocked this one over. No problem there.
Oh! He hasn't knocked it over. I beg your pardon.
No problem.
Who taught him that?
There you go. They're all human. So what I was going to say was, there was a couple of sets there where they had a couple of yardage shits, which I thought was good for their style in the way they went. But I like the way they started. I mean, they dropped people under through the middle of the field, which held Papua New Guinea nice and tight. And then once the game opens up, they start to find some space.
And the reality for the Kumuls is that they've got to try and stop some of the ruck speed. But when it's Cassiano and Vadavai and Williams and Sam Mower,
look at him.
Look at that. Get that.
Aren't they? Exactly. Get it up here. Aren't they running hard? These Kiwis. Look at Manu Vadavai now.
Stand up now.
What do you say to Papua New Guinea if they don't have the ball in their hands? I mean, this is getting over the advantage line here. Followed up by Glenn. It is wave after wave, and here is Sam Mower again, punishing the Papua New Guinea defenders. Cassiano decides to run, has passed to Williams. They've tackled him. Hooray! Tackled by Jesse Joe Landier. Now Johnson. Whare, he chips back in field. Beautiful hands. Kumuls have got the ball. Was that Jesse Joe who got to it? It was one hell of a take. It was Jesse Joe. That was good hands out on the fingertips to rope it in.
But it's just the yards that are on offer. I mean, this set went some 70 yards before the kick goes in, and now a penalty. This will help for Papua New Guinea. Mexico on. Neville Costigan, he's done some tackling. He's off.
34-0. Defending champions over Papua New Guinea. Their final pool match here before they lie. Oh, no. Oh, no. They've not found touch from a penalty. Adrian Lamb. He wants a stiff drink right now. Thanks very much. New Zealand inside the Papua New Guinea 40 when they didn't deserve to be. Cassiano carries them with him.
Stand now!
Oh,
16. On now, you're good.
He's got Johnson, and there is Hoffman. Whare on to Tuivasa-Sheck. And enough pressure put on him by Josiah Abavu.
He is human.
Come here, guys.
He's not an alien as you were describing him before, Vossi. He is human. He didn't get the ball down.
He was looking to pass, and Abavu did just enough.
The footwork just deceiving Tuivasa-Sheck. Watch Bryson Goodwin here. Singles out Ray Thompson and goes straight over the top of it. He says, hey, I'm playing on the same side of the field as Manu Vatuvei. I'll run like him.
16.
You can see from all our shots, this field absolutely immaculate. When I came out here this morning, they actually had the sprinklers on at the ground. You wouldn't think they'd need rain. There was an explanation for it, and I'm not about to play greenkeeper here now and tell you why, but there is a reason, a valid one, and they did say, though, you can't wear the moulded studs here. You will. This is an ice skating rink. So the long studs have got to be in for the players. They will know that after training.
Are you going to inform the world viewing that Why they have the sprinkles on? Because you said there's a reason.
I said, but I'm not about to embarrass myself and give some BS answer.
So you don't know the reason?
Well, I asked him, but it was so over above my head. You know, I just said, oh, well, grass grows in the dirt, doesn't it?
Inside.
But I think there's more to it than that. Yeah, kicks down the field.
Danger.
And Varuve runs back at them.
Ray moves.
Probably, look, I'll give myself a bit of homework. I'll work out the combined weight of this New Zealand side. Because, you know, when you've got a 110-kilo winger like Manu, and I don't know what Sam Cassiano's tipping the scales at in this tour, but I'll guarantee it's not what's in the media guide. I reckon it's a little bit more. He's up around 130. Here's Bromwich on that left side. He's come back in after a little breather.
Leg drive.
He's 10 guys. Richard, 7 MP.
30 metres from the line, and Luke will just carry on from this platform that's been laid by these big forwards. He'll run all day. Put to ground there by Panui. Tough initiation for him. And Foran, another kick across field, and well, they've done it again. Papua New Guinea, they've managed to diffuse the situation with Yere.
Oh, there, tackle one way, anyway.
Still, if this is to be their last game, it is there. Oh, hello, little high around the collar, no damage done from Foran, as this is their last game. I just want one big hit from Menziere. I just want one big one.
Kieran Foran just reaching the arm out on Abu. Great take from Yere. Kick just a little bit flat. Not enough time for the outside backs to get up and underneath it.
4 to go, first half, 34-0. 6 tries and 5 goals. Johnson missing. One from in front, hit the upright. Had to go back to the video to analyse that.
Jesse moves. Tenzia.
They're with it just inside their own half. Crowd have tried their best to lift the Kummels as Aiton now quick hands across. Meads into the line. Farre read it well. Mead was able to offload nicely. Slick hands, but the defence, you know, there's great purpose about New Zealand. Another penalty conceded here. Tackle on Ayer.
I'm impressed with the aggression of the Kiwi defence, Darryl.
Yeah, they got it right on the right here, and they push up hard too, so the outside backs go up. Johnson covers them behind with good speed to tidy it up as well. But Papua New Guinea really starting to play the ball quickly, which I really like as well, and shifting as well, so they will attack.
Well, let's see what they can do in this set. With 3.5 minutes remaining. Aiton gives it up to Menziere.
Come on the jukebox.
46 tries he scored for Sheffield this year. Now, viewers across the southern hemisphere wouldn't be aware of that in the championship. Now Aiton, 6-3 the penalty count, the Papua New Guinea. And Thompson out the back for Mead. And with it is Panui, and he's pushed back there by Goodwin. On that 20, PNG hoping for their first try of the night. They've scored only 3 in the tournament so far. And this is Chan, held again by Goodwin, also by Glenn. Back to centre field. Oh, it passes to no one. Scooped up off the deck. Needed to be a good pick-up in that situation. Not easy, slippery conditions. 15 away, Aiton, left side. Ayer has decided to go for the low kick again. And Hoffman, great take. And then copped a shoulder charge, did he?
I'm liking the work of Neville Costigan. I mean, he's not the biggest front rower, and at international level, stepping up against the Kiwis or Australia or England, he's really a back rower in a front rower's body. But here, he gets himself involved, and nice little link, and when the kick goes through, it's a bit like dodgem cars down here. And they come, bang, off the shoulder of Abu. No arms there.
Oh, we almost got hit by that ball up here in the gantry. In the southern stand. And the ball's come loose, but Klein's found a penalty there against Papua New Guinea. Suddenly becomes the enemy now to the local fans here. Neville Costigan wants to have a chat about it.
I really think for Stephen Kearney now that Papua New Guinea are working their way into the game. The real key is to see where the structure of this Kiwi team comes and goes under a little bit of duress, under some pressure.
Back here, guys, back here. Go. Jason.
So restart just inside the Papua New Guinea half. Every runner, Sam Moa's been good, and then, well, he's had the ball stripped as well when Luke was off. Well, he probably could have let play continue there. Luke was on the fly.
Looks like 2 penalties on the bounce. Okay. You guys can't keep giving away penalties all right.
Was it a juggle with that ball there?
Fine, but the way I brought it
Maybe he dropped that call. He doesn't. Neither does he does. He said he dropped it. Samoa said no, I didn't. He pulled it.
See you guys.
11 penalties this first half, and here comes more New Zealand attack coming up to half-time. Final 60 seconds at 34-0. Williams is like the cat on the hot tin roof. He wanted the pass there, doesn't get it, and Bromwich ends up with the ball. Centrefield tackle 1, 21 from the line. Luke for Samoa. He's hit hard. Good low tackle there by Costigan, and hammered over the top. Now Johnson, the speed of their work is just too good. Sonny Bill Williams has scored again. What a first half he's had. And New Zealand lead by 38 points to 0. And you're watching a team in top gear here, the men in black and white.
Hat-trick for Sonny Bill Williams. 2 on the right. This is the second one. 1 on the left. Just a one-on-one tackle from Jesse Joe. Not good enough. Love the way they've worked him into the game, or he's just worked himself into the game, really. So they set this from a penalty. They push it 1, 2 to the middle. Moa had a good charge, and then they go to the strike weapon. To be fair, he didn't really show all his cards there either. Just a little swerve and the stride of the man stepping inside Jesse Joe. Warning signs.
Your playing days, did you play against any athlete like that, Blake?
Yeah, to be fair, test matches, and Big Mal played against Big Mal, and you're coming across him in the centre. That's a fair effort, trying to stop him. You sure get between his legs and try and be a speed bump.
Yeah.
And you know, the Rod Reddies were athletes, the Wayne Pierces were athletes of their time. They were good players, you know. But this bloke's special, I think.
Over to Johnson again. He'd be dirty, wouldn't he?
I think it's quite an important kick mentally. I mean, with the experience he had in the last one, the experiences prior to that were good. So this one personally will be important for sure.
Crowd's giving him plenty as well. Johnson to get it up to 40 at half-time. Shaun Johnson has done it. What a half from the defending champions. They have posted no less than 7 tries. 7 tries to 0. 6 from 7 off the boot of Shaun Johnson. And half-time in this match at the Headingley Carnegie Stadium. New Zealand 40, Papua New Guinea 0.
Coverage brought to you by BetDAC, the sports betting exchange.
We've got 2 more live games today. England march on from their superb performance last weekend. And Australia take on Ireland.
What about G.O.? DCE Daly Cherry Evans scores for Australia.
Rugby League World Cup 2013. Every game live on Premier Sports.
John suffers from indigestion. His twin James suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way round or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes in 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. For dual relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
GetTheLabel.com sponsors the Rugby League World Cup 2013. Up to 75% off branded clothing for all the family.
How would you like to relive your favourite arcade experiences? At Direct Games Room, you can discover over 100 of the most popular games in a range of sizes and prices to suit most pockets. Kit out your own games room with classic driving games, shooting games, air hockey, football tables, pinball machines, or even a jukebox. If you're hosting a company event or planning a family gathering, what better way to get the party started than with our short-term hire? Or, if you're a business searching for something different to attract new customers or create additional income, then there's always our long-term hire, which is cheaper than you think. And when it comes to repairing or refurbishing your machines, we've got that covered too. So check out our range online at directgamesroom.com or call 0800 0699 778 and relive the experience.
When you're stuck with a hard-to-shift mucus cough, try great-tasting Lemsip Cough Max Hot Drink. It works deep down to help clear congested mucus. And unlike syrups that only treat coughs, it soothes aches and pains. Help conquer your mucus cough with Lemsip.
It's time to set the record straight. Betdaq charge new customers a maximum of 3% commission versus 5% at Betfair. That means more for you. So ask yourself, which sports betting exchange really gives you value? Betdaq, the sports betting exchange. Value you can bet on.
Throughout the day, your eyes can lose moisture, leaving them feeling dry and tired. Optrex Actimist is clinically proven to restore the moisture your eyes need. Relieve, refresh and revive your eyes with Optrex Actimist.
New Sure with Motion Sense, activated by your movement. The more you move, the more it protects. Do more. Sure, it won't let you down.
I want to be serious about a serious subject, hair loss. And if you're serious about hair loss, talk to the specialists at Advanced Hair Studios Clinic, who also take it seriously. Their trichologists can formulate a program for you, and their strand-by-strand procedure can replace your hair like it did mine. So you'll receive expert advice all the way, like I did. Call a specialist at Advanced Hair Studios Clinic now. Call Advanced Hair Studio now on 0845 600 8899.
More fantastic sport in store this November on Premier Sports. See every game of Rugby League World Cup 2013 live. We race the final laps of the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Right side, holy cow, that was strong.
15 games a week of NHL ice hockey.
Crosby on the rebound, twice he scores!
The final stages of the Copa do Brasil and the Copa Sudamericana. Plus more South American football with the Argentine Primera Division. And live MMA from Cage Warriors. See all this and more this November on Premier Sports.
Coverage brought to you by Betdaq, the sports betting exchange.
As back come the Cummels. Gee, they look a bit disconsolate, don't they? Edging down the stairs.
He's been tough, though, hasn't he, Costigan? You've got to say, he's still shown he's been belted by every big bloke in the Kiwi team and keeps coming.
I think it's that real physicality of where the game's got to. These guys have got the biggest shoulders of all, and they throw them around the place. The birds of paradise. Jason Costigan, what a fine performer he's been in the NRL. Very proud man.
And now Kieran Foran takes the Kiwis out. It's a remarkable room in the northeastern corner here of the ground, the Taverner's room, where you can stand looking out at Headingley, the cricket ground, and turn around, do the 180 and look out on the rugby league ground. And there to one side is the chair, or where they think that Sir Donald Bradman got patted up for the day in 1930, where he went out and scored that 309 on the first day of an Ashes test. And for good measure, he came back 4 years later on his next appearance at Headingley and made 304, made another triple century. Pretty handy player. And some rich history here at this wonderful, wonderful sporting venue, like no other in the world. every wall of the Taverner's room there is.
Luluai on to start this half, Fossey. Johnson off.
Coach Voss called it.
Isaac Luke to start the play for New Zealand. Finds a little bit of no man's land.
He's got it.
Not quite a mix-up, but Jason Chan's the man who has the first touch of the second half for Papua New Guinea.
Hold it. Hold, go.
So Luluai on in the halves here for New Zealand. And this is Panui, who's had a devil of a night out in the centres. Plenty thrown at him, and plenty thrown at every man across the park for Papua New Guinea. Physical charge, big mark Mexico. Rips in. Cops it from Moa and Bromwich. Now 8 on, away for Costigan. And Costigan, 4 defenders. 4 and fell off, but Moa did it. Nor did Taylor, nor did Bromwich. Inside their own half, but only just, and another big run. I think it's Mexico again. Off he goes, Mr. Mexico. On tackle 5. 5 inside the New Zealand half. And Thompson out to Ayer. They're going to run it, and so they should. Jesse Joe's got the ball, and Jesse Joe has found space inside for Mead. It's batted on, it's off the leg. Play on, Papua New Guinea. Ayer may not have scored, and maybe I know, but the video referee will decide. What about that play on the last tackle? A rush down the left side. And Jesse Joe Nandier had it going. Good luck, Richard Silverwood, if you're going to say no try on this.
All good. Backwards. Just be off the leg. Do with another angle on that, please. Yeah, that I need something closer on that, please. Can't really tell on that. Looks to come off his leg. Anything else? So far off his leg, if we've got anything else. Leg. Okay. Carry on from that. Happy off his leg. Just close up on the grounding, please. Okay, slow. Slow on the grounding. Happy with that. It's a try.
Yes, he'll have no trouble getting to his car, Richard Silverwood. The decision's coming through. Get ready for the cheer from the Headingley crowd here. Papua New Guinea, they've got themselves a try against the World Cup champions.
I was about to express that's the best set of the game on if they can find a kick, the New Guineans, and they throw the ball out and score a try. So that's definitely their best set of the game.
So Adrian and Mal, you saw them in the box. What they said at half-time was play, guys. And they did. They went to the outside. Thomas Luluai's in 17, and he just couldn't go. I don't think his groin's right. He just couldn't go with them. And then they forced the ball back on the inside. And from there, nearly a knock-on, off the knees, into the hands, and a nice pick-up. And then a good burst right in between the posts. Oh, this is deserved.
And he's won out of the local competition as well. And there's a strong contingent here. And what a moment for Dion Ayer. Only their 4th try at this World Cup. They're on the board, 40 points to 4. And they have had some troubles with their goal kick, it must be said. This is their 3rd kicker now. So Francis Panui gets the kicks. Mead has sacked himself. Eliab had a go on Monday night, and he missed the side of the barn.
It's not the easiest kick from here, if you ask Sean Johnson.
Interesting action from Francis, and he bangs it over. 40 points to 6. They couldn't get a second, could they, Brian?
If he runs around Thomas Lulai like he did there, there's every chance. Oh, yeah. That's just a numbers of shirts in the frame as well on the shift play on the last. They decide to run it, as Darrell says, and they get a bit of success. I don't know whether they took New Zealand by surprise, a little bit of a shock with the way they've been playing.
Isaac Luke in quick time has to do another kick-off, and Mead underneath it, and they're going to run hard as now the New Zealand defence gets tested. Mark Mexico, I want something exactly what he's on.
Great stuff from Mexico. Nuasala wants a bit of it.
Hey, Mark, you have the penalty. Let's go.
He's a big boy, Mark Mexico, and I think he wants to go the 10 rounds if they want to get it started.
This is what Samoa did to New Zealand, remember? Big Mossy Masoi said, I'm coming from the back fence as well.
He came from the car park then, Mexico.
Mark Mexico, and I think he wants to take the next run. It's Costigan who takes the first one. 40 metres away from the New Zealand line. At 40 points to 6. We're having fun here. Hope you like watching it. Jason Chan with the ball. It's just after 9 o'clock local time on a Friday night at Headingley Carnegie Stadium in Leeds. Thompson now across, doesn't find Mead. It's on the bounce, and oh, look at Jesse Joe. He's got a big gazelle-like step.
Stand up. Yeah, nothing silly for
with it 5 metres inside the Kiwis territory. Now Menziere, Sir Menziere, after he met the Queen. That's what his teammates have been calling him the last couple of weeks. So Papua New Guinea now inside the 30. And the ball is scored. The boys come loose. It's been touched. Tackle count restarts. New Zealand haven't touched the ball in this second half. Yere takes a run at them. 15 from the line. Yere to play it. 8 on. I don't think he'll be off anytime soon. He's directing the team. Wellington Albert takes the run. That's a good name. Wellington Albert. 10 from the line. Papua New Guinea out wider. Falling into the tackle was Chan, but there's still a little bit of heat on the New Zealand defence here. Thompson, it was a quick play the ball, and have a look at the run. He wants to lock horns with him again. Moa was able to hang on in defence, but Mexico is absolutely outstanding, the big fella. Yere doesn't find Abavu, and they're still able to pick it up. Mead, that's off a Kiwi hand. Play on in Papua New Guinea can get to it. It's lost in goal. It'll be a line dropout.
I thought Hoffman had thrown it to a New Guinean. He got hurt there. He tried to ground the ball. I thought he popped up, but he managed to get it out. And this new expansive game plan from the New Guineans is paying dividends. Kiwis haven't touched the ball yet.
Great work as they moved it back infield. They're using the full width of the field, Papua New Guinea, and their passes are sticking. A little bit of luck on the end of it as well. There's Josh Hoffman. Well, courtesy of that big fella Mexico line all over him. He coughs it up.
Give it to Mark Mexico. He's thereabouts. He wants another run. Thompson finds him. Here comes Mexico. Oh. I love him. He's my new favourite. Mark Mexico. 30 metres away from the line. And Chan follows up for PNG. They've twisted him. They've got hold of a leg. They've turned him into a party game there. Playing at 25 metres out from the line. Thompson quickly into Costigan. It almost opened up for Neville, the captain of PNG. Right in front of the post. 15 away. Thompson's got another run. Not Mexico again. He can't be him. He can't take every second run, can he? He did. Papua New Guinea left side. Ayer fell, got it to Mead. Yere was headed over the sideline, kept it alive, and Papua New Guinea somehow still had possession. 15 from the line, and they need to get a kick in. They've got it in now. It's a low ball. Great pickup again by Hoffman. Great stuff from the New Zealand fullback.
Now it's great work again. They want to go the side to the left for Papua New Guinea and pick up Yere on that side. Then Faro's having a wow of a game in defence and holding it together. Then the little kick through from their half. Dion Ayao, beautifully done.
Release.
Now just checking Thomas Lulawa. He's gone. He's gone. You picked it, Darrell. On the first tackle that he had to do that led up to the try, you said the groin can't be right. He's run straight off down the dressing room, and he's devastated by it. he's obviously aggravated the injury, and I dare say we won't see him again at the World Cup.
Well, to be fair to poor Thomas, he needed the chance and roll the dice and give it a go. But to have a big sprint on your very first run when you're out there in the second half on a cold night, you could just see he wasn't in full stride. Disappointing.
And now Johnson, after he cools down and wouldn't have been thinking he'd be going back out there, is thrown back into the action. There he is in the tackle with Williams and Farre. So a bit of drama for New Zealand. No Thomas Luluai, and whatever their plan was to give a bit of rest time to Johnson or to Luke, that may well go out the window. And now Papua New Guinea getting offloads.
Haven't they lifted Papua New Guinea? Where was this in the first half?
They're a different team.
Oh, there you go. It's 4.
Well, it's a Mark Mexico-led recovery. That's what's happened. One bloke has just said, follow me. Kick downfield from Ayer. And Hoffman, while not heavily involved tonight, but the things he has done has been very solid, very good.
Positionally very good as well, Vossi. He's cleaned everything up that he's had to, because he hadn't had a lot. I just think that it's the New Guineans, the second half, that they decided they've got a share in the Richter scale as well as the Kiwis, because it was all the Kiwis with the big shocks in the first half, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Played by Glenn, and it was a quick play. The ball, and Goodwin's got away. They were caught offside. Goodwin helped himself to hop on the tarmac and almost took off. 20 metres away from the Papua New Guinea line. Centrefield Johnson, and then Bromwich. He's a front rower with footwork, and that makes him hard to handle. Jesse Bromwich. Last tackle here in front of that fans on the Western Terrace here. Johnson right side 4 and quick hands, must score. Farre will score. Dean Farre goes over for New Zealand, and that's a bit of an anti-climax for the Papua New Guinea comeback. The crowd too silenced by the Kiwi try.
So a lovely run down the left-hand side by one centre, and Bryson Goodwin, and a nice palm off as well. And then gets to the football, gets to his feet to play the football. And Dean Farre is really growing as a right side centre. We mentioned him in the first half. Jamie Lyon plays that position at Manly in the NRL, and he is the best right side centre we have seen for a long time in terms of decision making. And this man here is starting to grow. Defensively sound at the far end of the football field 2 sets of 6 ago, and he's handling Yeri, and he comes up with a subtle, nice little decision in play here in a try scoring movement. Take my hat off to him.
Yeah, he looks sharp, doesn't he?
Yeah, Dean Farre locking down right centre, which won't be good news for Krisnan Inu, who had a crack there last week against France. And Goodwin's making a fine fist of left centre tonight.
Yeah, well, he's had a great introduction into football as Dean Farre. He played outside Steve Matai on the wing for most of his football, and they grew him into the game. He had a couple of games at fullback, and he's an all-rounder. Love to see it.
If they are to make the final, Brian, if New Zealand was to play Australia in the final, Farre would be marking up to a bloke called Greg Inglis. Big assignment.
You've got Australia in the final already, Vossi.
I'm saying if. It was an if. I did spell it out if, you know. America might beat Australia in the quarters down there in Wrexham.
Thinking about the semis more than the quarters.
See, yes. Touche. Touche. So Johnson kicks from inside the 20. And he's back on song, just that one kick into the upright.
I think it's a really pertinent point that you make, Vossi, about when you look at the matchup of the teams, if you say that England and Australia and New Zealand are the top 3 teams, and you look at the centres in all 3 teams, you'd have to say that the big worry for the teams playing Australia, the fact that you got to do something about English, you've got to play against English. Jennings maybe.
46-6 is the scoreline. Australia picked a side for the match against Ireland tomorrow with Slater back in it at fullback after Inglis was fullback against Fiji. And knocked over there. Nuasala fell over in front of Moa, and that was a little off-putting there. And it ends up a bit messy there for New Zealand. I think the replay will show Nuasala. I don't know whether he was knocked over or whether he just slipped over.
He's sort of half running a block, which sometimes happens from the kickoff. You can put yourself in the road of the defence coming down, and they're entitled to get rid of you. Well, that's what they believe. Subtle little change here. Mead's gone to the wing for Papua New Guinea, and McDonald is actually playing fullback.
Get in there, okay?
Trying to get this scrum sorted out there.
Second row, mate. Second row.
20 metres away from the New Zealand line. And a PNG ball. Their try scorer out for Yere, taking on Johnson and Farre, but they've done the job there. Farre was the man down low. Tackle 1, 22 metres away from the line. Bring it in field with the captain, Costigan. And again, New Zealand getting numbers in the tackle and no offload. Now Aiton, little ruck play, throws it to the edge, and Moa's got his hands full in defence. As the aggressive running of the Papua New Guinea players has really lifted in this second half. Thompson out the back, McDonald, and with the ball, Panui was able to offload. He did well, Panui, just to get his winger inside. Mead playing it, 15 from the line. Thompson, oh, that's a soft error by Chan.
Stand up, guys.
And New Zealand to have the scrum feed, but unfortunate there from Jason Chan.
Poor old Jason Chan was never going to catch that. The pass from Thompson was behind his right arm and trying to grab it or pluck it out of mid-air. Alex Glenn in that set of 6 for the Kiwis was brilliant. Made one tackle and slid onto the winger and made a second tackle in the same motion.
Yeah, Alex, you work. Neville, Jason.
I thought Mead did real well with Glenn doing that to stay on the field of play.
Out.
So New Zealand with possession. Second half it is 6-all after we went to the break with 40 on the board. And that time, Sonny Bill Williams, who was barely put to ground in that first half, the start of the game, he had 4 offloads on the board, probably by the 10 or 15 minute mark.
And that's a halfback and Dion Aire fronting up to Sonny again. He gave him a little bit of a back slam in the tackle. And Sonny
Rich, if you get a replay here,
took to it.
Well, hang on a second there.
And someone told him he's a heavyweight boxer as well.
Play the ball back here, tackle
up against a halfback.
Well, I think he told him where to go, Sonny Bill.
He did. They're in different weight categories, though. It's never going to be a perfect matchup, is it?
Let's go back 10 metres.
The weighing in. So now you're a welterweight, mate. Get out. Get out. He's a heavyweight.
Hey? Okay, sweet, mate.
Heavyweight, that bloke. Yeah, he says, yeah, and I'll have the welterweight. You come near me, yeah, I'll knock your blocks off.
It's a test match. It's a test match.
Hold, go.
Let them go. Let's see what happens.
It's not a test match. It's a mismatch, Fossey.
New Zealand possession 5 inside their own half.
Just hold here, guys. Hold, go. That's
Never heard of David and Goliath, that story there, Brian? There's Bromwich.
Just here, wait there, Neville. Go. They're fine there.
We'll get an update on Thomas Luluai in just a moment as Johnson launches one. It's tough. Oh, McDonald. Lesser men than him have dropped those. That's an awesome kick. Let's quickly go to Natalie Quirk about Thomas Luluai.
Daryl did allude to it a little bit before about he may not have overcome his groin injury fully, and that is what the problem is. He felt that he couldn't run at full speed, as you saw when he came on in the second half, at the start of the second half, and so indicated himself that he wanted to come off at the field, and that's why he's disappeared from playing.
Disappointing.
Let's go.
As we see him pull up here, and you just realise that, hey, I can't go, and there's a pretty dejected Thomas Luluai.
Sam, I'm down Elijah.
Yeah, says it all.
Yeah, tough stuff, that. And he's played 30 tests for his country. And Tuivasa-Sheck has the ball for New Zealand, 10 metres away from the line. Massive kick by Johnson, and he can launch.
I felt sorry for McDonald. I think he thought Mead should have been back there.
Here's Sam Moa in front of the posts. The pack terrors here at Headingley as Luke Johnson right side overlap, and Farre is all, yes, he's there. Well, we want to check it with Richard Silverwood. He's getting paid by the decision. Dean Farre did appear to get it down, and 50 may be up for the Kiwis.
Okay, just grounding. Just jog that back. Does his hand come off the ball? Grounded with the forearm. And still on the ball. And still on the ball. Ooh. No, first one, please. Just go back to the first one. I'm happy with that try. Benefit of doubt.
Yeah, I don't know about you at home, but we in the commentary position here at Headingley, we had it in the frame after the first replay. We had it caught live as a try, but Richard Silverwood, he likes to cross the T's and dot the I's, Brian.
It's a try.
Well, good comment. That's why we pay you the big dollars, Brian. That's why we pay you the big euros. Well done.
Lovely work out the back from Johnson. What about the width of the pass? And then Hoffman just delivers a nice little ball to Farah, and I was just complimented his decision-making in scoring the last try. I thought he should have caught and passed this, and then I picked up on the replay that maybe the arm of Abayu might have actually blocked it anyway. So again, a good decision. What it was that he got the try.
Yeah, I agree. I was complaining myself in my own mind that he should have passed it to the winger for the easier score, and but when I actually saw how he caught the ball behind him, he didn't have much option really, because the winger came in and stopped the play.
All right, kicking to this packed section of the ground. For those who haven't been to Headingley, you've got two sides of the ground terraced. The southern side and the western end behind the goalpost where Shaun Johnson is kicking. The home of the Leeds Rhinos, one of the great clubs in World Rugby League. As Johnson converts another one, it's hard to believe that he hit the post with one in front. I know that's history now in the game, but what does happen in that situation where you hit the post? Former North Sydney Bear, Daryl Halligan.
Well, it's not something you want to continue to go back to when you're a goal kicker to see the decision made, but maybe a wrong contact, maybe not quite hitting the ball off the right part of your foot. There's a couple of little subtleties that come into it.
It's a rare event these days. I reckon David Mead felt pretty good about it, to see, you know, a regular kicker in the NRL do that. Bloke who'd kicked 8 from 8 the previous week. Nene McDonald on the restarted play. 52-6, 22 and a bit minutes to go. And Cassiano's out there again.
Hey, Sam, go on there.
20 away. Imagine Sam's room service.
It's okay.
Imagine how much he'd order, Brian, Sam Cassiano. They'd have 3 waiters bring it up to his room. 3 trolleys. Here's Sonny Bill.
Surrender! Stand now!
40 away from their own line. Bit lively if Sonny Bill runs into Ayer again. Want to see round 2 of that mismatch, as Brian has called it.
Mark straight. Hold here. Go. That's 4.
Now Luke. On to Foran. And Foran has got that kick. No, can't get it over Mead.
Hold on.
And Mead returns.
Okay, 2 in there.
When we talk about individual performances, I still like to acknowledge David Mead in that first game against France. It was an outstanding game. I know he missed the goal at the end, but in general play, he was really, really good. Here's McDonald getting more touches of the football from fullback.
And I'd like to look at him too, McDonald. Good turn of speed, good footwork. Oh!
Chan was through a hole. He was 15 metres downfield, and the ball was back like a doorstop.
He just forgot to take the ball with him. Jesse Bromwich was wishing he'd take the ball with him, because he'd line him up for a special shot. See, I wish he'd have caught that ball. That's what Bromwich was saying.
People have been asking me about what I've been eating lately. It's become a bit of a topic. I thought I'd bring it in here. It was a very quiet day, Brian. I went for the jacket potato here at the ground tonight. I thought I'd try food inside the ground, so I went for the cheese and coleslaw number here at Headingley. I give it a 7. Give it a 7 out of 10. Yourself, Brian, have you tried them?
I don't mind a jacket potato, but I nailed a pork pie just beforehand, which was Sonny Bill trying to push through, but
loose out there for Tuivasa-Sheck. There's the step.
There are scouts at every pub in Headingley waiting for you.
Yeah. I've had 4 curries.
Eating.
I've had 4 curries this week. And now it's on to Johnson. Great step. There's a fella who can step as well. Shaun Johnson, 8 from the line. And here is Luke. Short ball there to Bromwich. The front rowers want to try. Bromwich has got 4 defenders holding him up. Luke is exploring left and right. He decides to explore himself and is able to offload. Foran is there. Foran to Hoffman. Hoffman now kick off the legs of Mead in an offside position. I thought it would have been Francis Panui.
You know, there's a subtle little play here in this set of 6, and it's around Kieran Foran. When there's some Adelaide football played and the ball gets into his hands, he still holds it for a long period of time. This is the person he passed it to, and Hoffman putting a little kick through. But when everyone was expecting a quick shift and everything, he just holds the line up, waits for people to make decisions, and then he goes. Sonny Bill has copped it in every tackle he's had today. but he's just been good enough to turn and twist as they're putting him backwards to offload.
Arms around, Alex.
Some pretty earnest discussion among the New Zealand players as this scrum packed down. I think they want to really get into their game plan again.
Stand up now.
Williams tackled there, maybe right through the centre. They're going to go here. Luke and Foran short to Bromwich again, and they get 5 there. Papua New Guinea defending their own line. Joe Bruno gets his arms over the top, then gets pushed away by Bromwich. Now the attack to centre field for Matalino. Gets a little look at the line, but Pandy is back out there. He's got the best hairdo at the World Cup. The lock forward for Papua New Guinea. And here's Cassiano. He's pushed across field. Still offloads for Foran. Now Foran, 5 from the line. And they're tackling for their lives at the moment, Papua New Guinea. Still some spirit. Still some get up and go on their side as Luke is tackled. Last it is. This is back-to-back sets for New Zealand. Johnson crook old ball that one. SBW's gone back for it. He's already got 3 tries. What a pick-up from Tuivasa Sheck. He does the netball pass over the top for Hoffman. Hoffman puts a left foot kick in. He's put it out almost into the stands. It's then been smashed over the sideline. Mead on Goodwin. David Mead's come up with a Menzies hit.
He was on a hiding to nothing. Bryson Goodwin has to catch the football.
Oh, yes.
Mac.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That'll knock a jacket potato out of you, that. And the cheese and the coleslaw. You can have the beads as well. Oh, now the big hit comes up on Tali. You beauty. And here's Pandia hit by Cassiano. Forget the shoulder charge rule. Turn a blind eye to it. Let's have it the next 10 minutes. Don't think anyone's going to complain in the crowd. That time, Chan onto Pandia. Almost toppled over the edge of the gantry when I went down to look at that tackle being made by Mead. Almost tipped over the edge. Would have made a cameo in the coverage as Aiden kicks under pressure from Cassiano. That kick from outside the 40 has found the line.
Was it outside the 40?
He was. Well, I thought he was. Controlled set indeed by Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, just over. Just outside the 40. What a great set of 6 though indeed. I mean, Papua New Guinea were brave as well, continuing to charge it in. And the set before, New Zealand went the short ball the whole time and caught it at the line and attack. So we've been delivered some quality here. Good kick on the end of it from Aiton. And look where they're camped. 15 out from the Kiwis line.
Yeah. New Zealand scrum feed 15 out from their own line. And I promised the Hunslet Hawks I'd give them a mention tonight too, Brian. I was presented with a Hunslet Hawks jumper, which is on its way to Australia. What a club they are, and I know they do it tough these days. They've been relegated to Championship 1 over here, but back in the day, they were a power. We're going a long way back, as here is Faray offloading. Tuivasa Sheck has got it. He was almost into full flight there. 40 away or 30 away from the line now. Johnson to centre field for Bromwich, and Bromwich gets it as far as the 20. He's been good tonight, Jesse Bromwich. Luke, Foran, Matalino. He's 10 from the line. What a set this is from New Zealand. 4th tackle, Foran and Williams. Williams flick, a juggle. Taylor, they called it forward.
This is first error of the night. They've adjudicated that he's forward, and he's shown up here on the left-hand side. He must have a free rein to show up where he wants, and just doesn't quite go. Everything he's done tonight has probably turned to gold for the Kiwis, but just not quite there.
Let's go, guys.
Elijah Taylor just overcooking his line here. Wanted to hunt up on the inside of Sonny Bill Williams, and just overdoing it there. That angle's not a good one to see where the pass was, but it was a good call from the referee. You know, Papua New Guinea have done so well. I mean, in the first half, 40-0 down, but the way the first half took place and the amount of tackles, 100 extra tackles in the first half, you would have thought their energy levels would have been drained in the second half. They're going great guns.
Yeah, good point, Daryl. Good point. As now Faray and Yere. Was that the song you wanted to hear, Daryl? He had to stand his ground. Faray with big Menzies Yere running at him. Crowd of over 18,000 tonight. 18,180 here 180. I like to hear that. That's a G up. It's probably 18,150, but they've said 180. As the ball goes with A here. But what a crowd. What another great attendance for a match which we knew coming to it had no bearing on the makeup of quarterfinals. Wabo is back out there. He's a former Hunslet Hawk, Charlie Wabo. They won all 4 titles. 100 years ago we're talking about, but they won all 4 championships over here in England.
That's all right.
Pretty fair effort, the Hunslet Hawks. And now Tuivasa Sheck with the ball. Had to buy a new suitcase today just to fit all the jumpers I'm picking up over here.
Have they all got the same food stains on that I saw you in the day?
Oh, that's lovely stuff.
Curry from Bradford and baked potato from Leeds, and
that's it.
Chinese from Chinatown in Manchester.
I haven't even told you about the Brazilian feed I had in the centre of Leeds the other night. Dad said next time I go there I'm not going to eat for 2 days before it. Cassiano. They had to carry me out on a stretcher. Tipping the scales now 110k. Here's Luke on to Johnson. Johnson short there to Matalino. Trying to leave his footprint on the chest of Jason Tarley. 10 metres away from the line. Last tackle, New Zealand. Johnson's going to bomb across field. Here comes Goodwin. Here comes, it's come loose. It's into the hands of Taylor. They said play on. Panui went through to try and get the ball. He didn't know where it was. Taylor's come up with it.
Just check the contest to make sure
there you go. Just checking for a knock-on in the contest. Felt sorry for the centre, Francis Panui. He didn't have a clue where the ball was.
Okay, check the contest. Just need to see if he's onside first, please. Yep, all good. That's backwards. It's backwards. Backwards, grounding, please. All good. Try.
Straightforward that one in the end for Elijah Taylor. Versatile player, scores a try here at Headingley tonight. 56-6.
This is what Stephen Kearney will love to see. Sean Johnson putting the kick right on the spot. And then when you see the subtle little play of Alex Glenn and the nice tip on from the back row, not easy at the speed, but watch what it is. Nice little hands. Would have had the ball in his hands for a microsecond before he turns and gives it to his lock forward and Elijah Taylor. Just beautiful stuff.
Yeah, Taylor, I think he's got to be in the 17, don't you think, Daryl, in their top 17 just for that versatility? Now that Luluai's out of the equation, if you want a player who can play a bit of dummy half as well, does that win him the spot in the 17?
Out of the equation, yeah, for sure. I mean, he does figure prominently in possibly the dummy half role if there's another one required. Plenty of options, however, as well. You know, Alex Glenn on the left edge. Simon Mannering's got to come back into the fold. I mean, these are great problems for Stephen Kearney to run through.
Johnson's kick. Johnson has hit the upright for the second time tonight. Albeit a lot tougher, that one.
It was a great kick. Foreign's kicking tonight's pretty much on the money, hasn't it?
They've got some weapons on the end of kicks too. When you talk about another part of their attacking armoury is having someone like Vaduve, is having Tuivasa Sheck and leaping centres as well. And then two halves that have got the full variety of kicks as well. Johnson can launch those monsters, and Foreign has shown us the kicking game tonight along the ground. So, geez, they tick a lot of boxes, don't they, New Zealand?
Well, now that you actually mentioned Manu Vatuve, we haven't seen him in the second half, and I'm just looking out here now. Bryson Goodwin is playing left wing. Alex Glenn's playing in the centres as well. So Manu's obviously having a spell.
Is he having a spell, or is he busted? Has we not picked up an injury?
Yeah, well, he's had some hamstring troubles throughout the year in the NRL, and we saw him suffer a bit of an ankle problem in game 1 against Samoa. As now Sam Murray. But if there's any sort of risk of any injury, the slightest twinge, you'd get him off at this stage. Full week to prepare for the first quarter-final, which will be either against Scotland or Italy for New Zealand to play, as Luke is offloaded there, and likewise done by Martellino, and then Cassiano. A rare sight to see him have to play the ball.
Did you see the offload from Martellino?
Yeah. And now Johnson's going to kick high again. Here's one of them. Good luck. Mead out there. It's come loose. And Sonny Bill may have a 4th try.
Yeah, this is a 6th tackle. Richard, just check the context.
Sonny Bill Williams may have 4 tries here for New Zealand. I remember Manu did that back at the 08 World Cup against England. And Williams may have got 4 tonight against the Commonwealth.
These are good. Let's jog that back. I can't see number 4. Have we cleared the kickers from the side?
Yes.
All good? Okay, yeah. Just need a close-up of that contest, please. We've got camera 6 from the other end. Now we've got the other corner. Okay. Both contesting there. This is the one. Both up. Ah. Ford just jumps into him. Not liking that. Just take that back. Not liking this. Ball's way off. Just jumps into him. It's going to be. I'm not happy he's challenging. It dives. It goes up for the ball, but it just dives into the PNG player for me. So it's going to be no try, penalty to PNG.
All right, let's talk about. I'm happy enough with that decision. We see so much of it these days. Catches taking off early, but Goodwin did achieve some hang time. You could also put up an argument for him, Darryl.
I got the argument that says that Bryson Goodwin is actually somewhat shielded or taxied off it just marginally by another player as well. You watch this here. It's Panu, and he doesn't just gives him a little bit of a shove there, which puts him off his line. So what are you supposed to do when you're already going, you're half twisted by another player? Disagree.
Stay behind, guys.
But I am biased.
But he's gone up early and made contact with the PNG catcher early. That is the way Richard Sill would call it. I'll let Brian Noble have the casting vote. We're 1-1 here. What do you think?
I think it's the right decision. I think it's a penalty. I think he's...
Oh,
whoa! I think that was Mr. Silverwood threw that at me. I'm agreeing with you, mate. I'm thinking it's a penalty because he's gone up and he hasn't given the opportunity for the full-back to go the wing to catch the ball. He's taken him out before it's become a fair competition.
Apologies for that. We just got some incoming fire there and the footy hitting us. Not to worry. PNG have the ball.
He's 10. Isaac, wait, Sam.
So you've got to say that the New Guineans, the Cummels, have aimed up this second half, haven't they?
Oh, there goes Dogzilla coming up with the tackle on Pandia. He's almost eaten him. Wabo, and no, there's a shot over the top from Madaleno that I'm not that flash about.
Stand up, ball. Go.
Collected Aton. He wasn't happy about it either. Thompson and Ayer on the deck, misses out. Menziere above who they've kept it alive to centre field. Ayer bounced away from another, and oh, there's a cannonball tackle. That's a bad one from Madaleno. That's a bad tackle.
So be careful, Ben.
Don't like that at all.
That's dangerous, mate. You all right, mate?
Well, I think he gave a penalty away early in the play on Ayton round his melon. But this one certainly is.
There you go. Ben.
Yeah, not much good's going to come of that. PNG straight onto it.
PNG have looked quite lively when they've shifted the ball to the left. I mean, a lot of passes have gone to ground, and the wingers done well to pick it up and then head back infield. That's where they've sort of looked most likely.
I really think they've aimed up the second half. Let's remember the first half, it was 40 zip, wasn't it?
Yeah. By the way, Madaleno on report for that tackle too, so there's a little concern for New Zealand out of this one. And Martelino on report for that what has been tagged a cannonball tackle, and we saw Manu Vadova. He has got an ice pack there somewhere.
That's one there.
I think the seat would be cold enough.
You all right, Sam? You all right, pal?
Ball with Joe Bruno for PNG, 25 metres away from the New Zealand line. They've scored one try. They scored it in the first set after half-time. Now they want another. Yere is offloaded. There's going to be another. Charlie Wabo, go Charlie! The Hunslet Hawk has almost got there.
Stand up now,
oh, that is, give him a try. Look, he's got his foot over the line. That'll do. Kummel's with it. 5 from the line at 56-6. Menziere showed us a glimpse of his skills in that previous play. Wabo across, they miss out Pandya. They've kicked to the corner, it's free for Mead. Oh, and he's into the fence. He's okay.
Okay, Rich, just confirm this, all right? At the moment, we've got a PNG feed. Just make sure that...
Oh, hang on, we may have a Papua New Guinea feed here.
Touch the ball and take it out.
Well, I think that's going to be overturned, that ruling.
You're by touch it.
Bryson Goodwin, does it go through his fingertips? Does he get a touch there? Well, he possibly does, and then it bounces into the field of play, and Mead tries to grab it. So it's propelled backwards, and then into Mead, so New Zealand scrum.
In the field? Richard? That's right. Richard, need a decision, mate.
Just waiting on the decision from Richard Silwood. Sonny Bill Williams, man of the match here for New Zealand. So that follows on from Sean Johnson last week. And Dean Farray in game number 1. And they've ruled, because David Mead tapped that ball into the corner post, that has been taken touch in goal. Now, the corner post wouldn't count if Mead had hold of the ball when he contacted the corner post, but he knocked it into the corner post, so therefore that is touch in goal. Cassiano has run at poor old Jason Tarley there, and he hit the deck like he's probably never hit the deck before.
It's just like a new model of a steamroller, isn't it? Some of these guys have never seen that before.
Well, the Industrial Revolution started in this part of the world. This is a new Industrial Revolution.
Here's Isaac Luke again, and Luke takes off and shows his speed as well. Dancing his way through defenders there. 5.5 to go at Headingley. Johnson goes for a low ball. But fielded there by Ababavu, and Papua New Guinea have the ball. So 40-0. So what do you make of the second half? Your analysis, Daryl, of a runaway first 40 in a 16-6 scoreline since half-time?
I think the energy has all been with Papua New Guinea. New Zealand got conned into the physicality of it in the second half again, similar to the Samoan game. They've sort of stopped playing football, and the block plays out the back. They haven't had as much football. For sure, you could argue with that. But it hasn't been as clinical as what the first half was.
Now Wabo away to Mexico. Mark's back out there and gets 2 touches in quick time. Thompson's got a chance to run it, and Aiton has done the same. Now Aiton's offloaded, and with it Panui, he had support on his outside, doesn't find Mead, loses the ball, and now Tuivasa-Sheck is back with it. Watch his feet. Tuivasa-Sheck is over the 40.
I want to see Sheck and Mead have a run. Mead had him for pace.
Goodwin infield, and Glenn with the ball now. Exciting passage of play from both teams here.
Release him!
Only the pass could have stuck if he had got it away inside. Francis Panui. And then off went Roger. They're 40 away from this Papua New Guinea line. Now we get with 4 minutes to go. And I don't think anyone here is in a hurry to get home. A little bit different to last Monday night. We were calling for the groundsman to switch off the lights 10 from full time. Tonight, you know, it's 50 points the difference, but the crowd are liking the football unfolding in front of them. Johnson, big dummy. Sean Johnson, a hop and a skip and a pass. It's gone forward. Forward to Ben Madaleno. Luke blows up, and poor old Ben Madaleno, he's never had to contemplate a post-try celebration because he doesn't get too many. And here he was in national colours. And forward the call, Klein was right in line.
That's how I called it.
A real flat attack. And that's what really suits Sean Johnson. Steps, propels to the side, then good speed through the line. The call was right.
Ben Madaleno told me before the tour started, Brian, I said about, you know, what are some of the things you're looking forward to seeing away from the football? And he just said, I think his words were, I'm not really into buildings and stuff. I'm not into buildings and stuff. I mean, I've driven past, you know, Abbeys today. I think Kirkstall Abbey, what's it, 800 years old. I was sort of taken a little bit by it, you know, thought it was quite amazing. He's not into buildings and stuff. He's just happy to play the PlayStation, you know, have a coffee.
Hold it.
It's amazing, the modern day footballer, isn't it? You know. Oh, yes, through again. Away goes Ayer. He passes early. Still on. Here they go. Wellington Albert. Wellington Albert has scored. Wellington Albert. I salute you, your champion. He scored for Papua New Guinea. With 2 to go. What a try to PNG. Wellington Albert.
Gone. Right through. Hey, again it is. That makes a break. Wellington Albert. The name and the moment. He's loving it. Hey, is the kingmaker again. Jesse Joe. Hey. Wellington Albert. They're all there.
Let's call him Wellington Albert the fourth. That will give him some more prestige, I think.
Smile on those two Blancs faces, and why wouldn't there be? They've aimed up in this second half, Darryl.
Oh, we wondered what they would say at half-time, didn't we? Their words have rung true. A little bit of magic from Mal and Adrian Lamb. So proud of their boys in the second half. And where, oh, where has their energy levels come from? 40-0 at half-time. And now, the second half scoreline of 16-12, you would imagine.
He plays for the Lay Tigers. There'll be a street parade there tomorrow on the back of that try. What a moment for Wellington Albert. Scoring here at one of the most famous rugby league grounds in the world. One of the oldest. It was here when they started the Northern Union, 1895. 56-10. And Francis Panui, he takes his time with a kick. It's important to him. And he's hit the upright as well. Third time that the posts have been struck tonight. I want to see one more hit up. Can we stop the clock and let Mexico have one last run? Give it to Mexico. I don't think there's going to be time for the restart. There won't be. Hey, it's been good entertainment. It's been real good. It was an exhibition in the first half from New Zealand to lead 40 points to 0. They were absolutely devastating. Then PNG score first set after half-time. The second half thoroughly entertaining and a full-time scoreline. Group B, final pool match for these two teams. New Zealand 56, Papua New Guinea 10.
Coverage brought to you by Betdaq, the sports betting exchange.
A great deal was at stake for Ireland and Fiji in the crucial World Cup semi-final qualifier. The victor was only 80 minutes away from destiny, a date with Australia. For Fiji, greatness is a spiritual condition. The Irish believed it was their time. Rugby League World Cup football is not a profession, it's a destiny. And that's what the greatest game of all is all about. Fiji got off to the perfect start after 2 minutes when Simon Finnegan charged down Aaron Groom's kick. But Groom got possession back and sent captain Wes Nagama to the line.
To the Guama. He's got Uarte on his outside. He may not need him. He's still going, Wes. They won't track him down. He comes to Damien Blanche. Crashes across the top of the Irish winger. And Weston's...
But Ireland's response was swift, as some neat plays across the line allowed winger Damien Blanche room to move.
In front of him. He takes on the fullback and runs around Jared Hay. What a run!
Ireland were well in the game at half-time, trailing 12-10, but the Fijians were far too strong after the interval, when a sustained period of pressure put them in control.
Goes back to the short side. Here's Neulayer. Now a ball off the Irish. It comes back! And getting across, Jason Bukuya has scored the try that extends the lead for Fiji.
Fiji opened up the game, running in more tries. Aku Uarte crossed for his second. A semi-final meeting with Australia was booked.
A chance for Uarte. He'll get across the line. He grabs another one to add to his try-scoring tally for the tournament.
Fiji's prayer is the key to heaven, but they believe their faith unlocks the door, and they now believe Rugby League's place in Fiji is assured.
And it's a big boost for our development back home in Fiji. And I think all the people in Fiji are watching us. We one of the sports that always look down for. So I think after this World Cup, Rugby League will be the #1 game in Fiji.
Fiji receives $300,000 for reaching the semis. Ireland's coach banking his side will go one better in the 2013 World Cup.
I understand that there's another World Cup possibly in 5 years, and that's a good learning period for the Ireland team. And if we can get regular international fixtures, I'm sure that we can go beyond what we've done this year.
England had promised so much before the World Cup got underway, but delivered very little in the pool matches. In the semi-final, the Lions needed to find some true grit against New Zealand. For the Kiwis, they were looking to inflict a second loss upon the English in consecutive weeks and book their place in the final. England stared down the haka this time, unlike previously when they turned their backs on it. New Zealand was inspired. They opened a 16-0 lead in just 22 minutes.
Marshall keeps it alive. Gets it on. Terrible score. Sam Merritt improves the possession.
The Lions' defensive woes were exposed for all to see. Time and time again, their players failed to cope with the use of dummy and decoy runners out wide. A bullocking run from captain Jamie Peacock finally got England on the board on the half-hour mark. England continued its fight back, right on the stroke of half-time when Danny Maguire touched down for this sensational four-pointer. break, both sides traded tries, but New Zealand was always in control of the match. England struggled to play catch-up footy. When Benji Marshall pounced a crossover in the left corner, the Kiwis booked their place in the final.
Yeah, look, it was disappointing to let that lead go. We sort of let our guard down trying to protect our lead, but just happy to get through to the final, mate. You know, none of that matters anymore. We're through to the final, so we're alive for another week.
For England, the finger-pointing started immediately. Coach Tony Smith saying Super League had to evolve to counter the Southern Hemisphere's game.
You know, what's the most important way to play? You know, is it to entertain the crowds, or is it to become number one in the world? And at some stage, that question needs to be asked.
It's embarrassing, to be honest. Come all this way, you don't pull up to scratch at all.
John suffers from indigestion. His twin James suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way round or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes in 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. For dual relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
How would you like to relive your favourite arcade experiences? At Direct Games Room, you can discover over 100 of the most popular games in a range of sizes and prices to suit most pockets. Kit out your own games room with classic driving games, shooting games, air hockey, football tables, pinball machines, or even a jukebox. If you're hosting a company event or planning a family gathering, what better way to get the party started than with our short-term hire? Or, if you're a business searching for something different to attract new customers or create additional income, then there's always our long-term hire, which is cheaper than you think. And when it comes to repairing or refurbishing your machines, we've got that covered too. So check out our range online at directgamesroom.com or call 0800 0699 778 and relive the experience.
Are you involved in your own rugby club? How would you like to increase the awareness of your club to both fans and members and earn your club some extra cash? Did you know you can get an iPhone app for your rugby club that provides an ideal platform to share news, results, player profiles, fixtures and reports as they happen? Better still, your club gets paid every time someone uses it. To find out more, go to sportsclubapp.com.
When you're stuck with a hard-to-shift mucus cough, try great-tasting Lemsip Cough Max Hot Drink. It works deep down to help clear congested mucus. And unlike syrups that only treat coughs, it soothes aches and pains. Help conquer your mucus cough with Lemsip.
Throughout the day, your eyes can lose moisture, leaving them feeling dry and tired. Optrex Actimist is clinically proven to restore the moisture your eyes need. Relieve, refresh and revive your eyes with Optrex Actimist.
With Betway, you can now bet in play on a massive range of sports, including the Rugby League World Cup, via your Mac, PC, mobile and tablet. And with a free bet of up to £50 to get you started, wherever you are, you've never been so close to the action. Betway.com.
This winter, Nurofen's new cold and flu range is here to help you battle on. It provides powerful relief from your tough symptoms, targeting aches and pains, fever and congestion. Because you don't stop when cold and flu starts. The new Nurofen Cold and Flu range, for lives bigger than pain.
Now, for whatever life throws at them, there's new Persil, Small and Mighty. An amazing new detergent that can also be used as a pre-treater. New Persil Small and Mighty. Better stain removal guaranteed, or your money back.